when this woman said, "You really believe government has no place in health care?" And I said, "Yes, I do. There's nothing in the Constitution that says the federal government should provide health care. And things that aren't in the Constitution are left to the states and the people." I believe that the U.S. Constitution is the wisest template for government that's ever existed on the face of the earth.
That's right.
And if I believe that, like I believe the Bible is God's word to man, I can't ignore it. I either subscribe to that idea and I follow that plan, or I'm a fool. And we profess to believe in the Constitution in this country. We have to follow it. We can't make logical arguments for the federal government doing health care. And I'm going to submit to you that there are three pillars on which this society rests: the individual and family, the church and the community, and the government. And even in the state of Texas, the government's role should be limited. When health care doesn't belong at the federal government, it also doesn't belong at the state. I believe it belongs with the community medical providers and churches and individuals and families. Maybe the state has a role of licensing and ensuring a certain level of care available to the public, but it has no business providing health care. The state of Texas is competing with private practice doctors and hospitals today in the delivery of health care, and in the last 8 years under the leadership of Governor Perry and a conservative Republican-controlled Austin, we have doubled spending on health care in the state of Texas. Doubled. Have we doubled the level of the quality of life in Texas? Government never makes anything better. We've doubled spending, but we've not improved health in Texas. So she said, "Well, no Medicare, Medicaid?" I said, "No Medicare, Medicaid." "Well, no Clean Air Act?" "No Clean Air Act." "No federal help for education?" "No federal help." And well, that went on for about 20 minutes till I finally said, "I'm not doing this anymore. If it's not in the Constitution, the answer is no. It's not in the Constitution. That job is reserved to the people and the states. And Texas will take care of Texans." So the question isn't, will you fight Washington? It's, where will we fight Washington? We're going to fight Washington on education, No Child Left Behind, because we can teach our kids fine by ourselves in Texas. Thank you. We don't need Washington's help. Is it cap and trade? Is it energy policy? We got a lot of oil and gas and coal and nuclear and opportunity to produce energy in Texas. We're going to tell Washington we don't need your help there? Is it health care? How about agriculture? How about we just tell Washington they keep their subsidies and our guys will plant and grow and sell whatever they want to plant and grow and sell. And they'll sell it to whoever wants to buy it.
Yeah. Free market. There you go.
Yeah. Really. I think what's toughest in Texas, I said early on, I think there's 5 issues really facing the state: the economy, energy, education, healthcare, and immigration. I think education's toughest. I think we all know that monopolies produce the poorest products and services and cost us the most. And yet we've got an education monopoly. If we want quality education for the least cost, we have to have a competitive education system. But we've built such impenetrable walls around public education, it has become so sacred, and the teacher lobby is so powerful that any candidate that talks about doing something different in education risks sudden death. It is the third rail of politics. Stay away from education, stay away from Social Security.
So good they have their own school laws.
Yeah.
They apply only there.
I think that we are maybe at a time where we're willing to have that discussion. It's certainly something that a Medina administration would push to implement competition in education in Texas, and that's all I'm willing to commit to right now. People say, "What about, are you saying vouchers?" And I said, no. You know, when you start getting into that debate with that political football that's been polarizing and hasn't moved, how long we've been having the voucher debate in Texas?
A long time.
Decade at least.
If that's where we start, we're doomed before we even get out of the gate. We're not starting there. We're starting with, we need competition because monopolies produce poor products and services and cost a lot of money. And competition creates the greatest products and services available to the most people at the lowest cost. Can we all agree on that? Yes. You get that, then let's have a discussion. With those two things in mind, then let's talk about this. But I'm not going to give you a political answer because you'll walk out and say, well, she said what I wanted to hear, and then I'll feel good and vote for her. We need leadership who's willing to say, we're going to do the hard work. I said, I think sometimes people think when you become a candidate, you get access to a higher level of Google. And you get to go in and Google perfect education plan for Texas, and voila, there it is. It doesn't work that way. If we're going to fix education, if we're going to fix immigration, we got to get away from those very volatile, emotion-driven political discussions and get some reasonable discussion and debate and deliberative debate at the table. And we can do that if we have leadership that's committed to fixing the problem. See, right now we don't have leadership committed to anything except international business and international bankers.